Hey, it's Chris with Awesome Possum Hobbies and Games, and I'm back this week. This week is the release of Wilds of Eldraine, the newest Magic the Gathering set. And today I'm going to be opening a booster box that I bought from my local retailer. Check it out. And here we go with the opening. Wilds of Eldraine set booster box. Today's release day. I am incredibly excited. There's the little picture. Of course, the booster packs are my favorite part of opening is see what we get. Here we go. Token. Foil Dark Tutelage. And this is a double rare pack. Farsight Ritual. Devouring Sugar Maw. We're not going to go through the commons and uncommons. Art card. Fun little art card. I don't know. Does anyone actually collect those out there? I know one of my buddies from my game store does. Ball Belligerent of the Ball. Lean Line of Sing City. Virtue of Knowledge. One blue, 4 colorless. And it is a split card with an adventure. The adventure part is Adventurous Visions. One blue, one colorless, instant adventure copy target activated or triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time that card is hot. I can't wait to play with that card in Commander. One of the rare lands. This one's a full border. Restless Spire. Restless Spire. Restless Spire enters the battlefield tapped. Taps reduce red or blue. And a red and a blue until end of turn. Restless Spire becomes a 2/1 blue and red creature with as long as it's your turn. This creature has first strike. It's still a land. And whenever it attacks, you get scry 1. That's pretty cool. And then I'm going to go through the commons and commons. Got enough foil lands. Double foil pack, which is always fun. Don't see that often. One of the signed art cards. A little indent. Oop. It looks like it's going to be a pack with a. That's what. Foil Rowan's Grim Search. Kindred Discovery. That's a great little hit to get. Italian's Messenger. 1 blue, 2 colorless. Creature, Fairy Noble. Whenever you attack with one or more fairies, you draw a card, then discard a card. Whenever you discard a card this way, put a +1/+1 counter on target fairy you control. Fun. Fun, fun, fun. The rest of them are just commons, uncommons, and the land. Let's keep it rolling. I'll try to keep this video short for you. Another signed art card. Token. Killian's Lightblades. Foil. Vampiric Rites. Restless Bioboyak. Say that 3 times fast. It's a rare land. Restless Bioboyak enters the battlefield taps. Taps to add red or blue, red and a white. 1 colorless, red, white. Restless Bioboyak becomes a 2/2 red and white ox creature until end of turn. It's still a land. Whenever he attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. That's actually pretty cool. Fairy Slumber Party. 2 blue, 4 colorless. Sorcery. Return all creatures to their owner's hands. Whenever for each opponent who controlled a creature returned this way, you create 2 1/1 blue fairy creature tokens with flying. This creature can block only creatures with flying. I've got a commander deck that's going to go straight into. And then the rest are just commons and commons. And land. Next pack. card. Token. Dawn of Hope foil. That's kind of cool. Mana Flare. Restless Fortress. Restless Fortress. Restless Fortress enters the battlefield tapped. Taps to add a white or a black. A black and a white. 2 colorless. Restless Fortress becomes a 1/4. White and black nightmare creature until end of turn. It's still a land. Whenever Restless Fortress attacks, defender player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Ogre Chitterlord. 2 red, 4 colorless. It's a rare 6/5 menace ogre warrior. Whenever Ogre Chitterlord enters the battlefield or attacks, create 2 1/1 rat creature tokens that this creature cannot block. Then, if you control 5 or more rats, each rat you control gets +2/+0 till end of turn. Wow. Late game, that's going to just be big beats and go wide at the same time. The rest are just commons, uncommons, and a foil land. Next pack. Might surround table type action. People bound before the throne. First set card, Primal Cocoon. 1 green, enchantment aura, enchant creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a +1/+1 counter on enchanted creature. 1 enchanted creature attacks or blocks, sacrifice Primal Cocoon. So it'll sit there and get bigger each turn as long as it doesn't attack or block. Grand Ball Guess, which is the second one of those I've seen today. And then Archon of the Wild Rose, 2 white, 2 colorless. And it is a 4/4 flying Archon. Other creatures you control that are enchanted by auras you control have base power and toughness 4/4 and have flying. Talk about go wide. Card's pretty good. Heartflame Duelist. A lot of 2 rare packs so far. You gotta love it. Heartflame Duelist. One white, 1 colorless for a 3/1 creature. That's a human knight. Instant and red spells you control have lifelink. Talk about gaining some life. It can be really good, especially on the second side. The adventure side is an instant Heartflame Slash. 1 red, 2 colorless. Heartflame Slash deals 3 damage to any target. Super good. And then on with more commons and uncommons. I'm a big fan of this guy. He's going to be good. Next pack. Greensleeves Moral Sorcerer, already reprinted for a set card. That's fantastic. It's a hard to get card, and I'm glad I got another one. I've got one already in my lands deck, so it's pretty good to have a second one. Diminishing Witch, or Nature's Will, another rare. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, tap all lands that player controls and untap all lands you have. Wow, that's strong. Smothering Tithe. Ding, ding, ding. Big hit. 1 white, 3 colorless enchantment. Whenever an opponent draws a card, that player may pay 2. If the player doesn't, you get a treasure token. Tangible Virtue. Restless College. There's the red, or the green, black one. Restless College enters the battlefield tap. Taps produce black or green. A black, green, and 2 colorless Restless Cottage becomes a 4/4 black and green horror creature until end of turn. Is still land. Whenever Restless Cottage attacks, create a food token and exile a 1 target card from a graveyard. This is actually a pretty good one. I'm a big fan of it. I don't think I'd turn it into a creature that often, except for when I need to absolutely remove a card from the graveyard. And turn commons and the art card. Foil Plains. So far, it's not a bad box. The Smothering Tide is always a fantastic card to draw. There's the art card. It's one of those anime cards. Rat token. Bitter Chill foil. Compulsion. And Decadent Dragon. 2 red, 2 colorless. It's a 4/4 creature dragon. Flying trample. When a decadent dragon attacks, create a treasure token. Court of Lothwain, which is from their commander set. 2 black, 2 colorless. When Court of Lothwain enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of target opponent's library. You may play that card as long as that card remains exiled. And mana of any type can be spent to cast it. If you're the monarch until end of turn, you may cast a spell from among the cards exiled with Court of Locthwain without paying the mana cost. That is a fun, spectacular card of a blue-black deck that wants to go in. And then uncommons, and commons, and regular forests. Next pack. Let's keep it rolling. Nice little art card. Food token. Tough Cookie. This guy was an MVP of one of my pre-releases. Grasp of Fate. Fantastic card. Gumdrop Poisoner. 1 black, 2 colorless, 3/2 human warlock with lifelink. When Gumdrop Poisoner enters the battlefield, up to 1 target creature gets -X/-X until end turn, where X is the amount of life you've gained this turn. So good. And then on the other side, for the adventure side, Tempt with Treats. Instant adventure, you can create a food token for 1 black mana. She's bomb diggity. Let's go ahead and go through the commons and uncommons. Spoil Island. Next pack. The art card. Looks like there's a lot of water in that picture. Food. Curse of the Werefox. Spoil. Doubling season. Ding, ding, ding. There's a big hit right there. Force Fruition. Another great hit. Hornlock Whale. Not as good for the standard pick, but you know what? I think that pack more than paid for itself. Hornlock Whale, 2 blue, 4 colorless. Creature Whale, 6/6, Flash Ward 2. Hornlock Whale enters the battlefield tapped unless it's your turn. So, you have to play at the end of your opponent's turn to help avoid some of their creature targeting spells or some board wipe. So you'll have a 6/6 that's fresh on your side that's going to cost their instances 2 more to cost. And on the opposite side, on the adventures, 1 blue, 1 colorless, Lagoon Breach. Instant adventure, the owner of target attacking creature you don't control puts it on the top or bottom of their library. It's a good card. Can't wait to play it in a counterspell deck. It's not great, but it will see some play, especially in a control deck. I think it's going to be the adventure side is just killer. Our cards, food token. Slumber and Keep Guard. I bet this guy will see some standard play. Hatching Plants. Ingenious Prodigy. This is one of my favorite cards from the set. For 1 blue, X colorless. This is 0/1 human wizard with Skulk. This creature can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. Ingenious, that ability is not great. But you know what? Its next parts are fantastic. Ingenious Prodigy enters the battlefield with X+1/+1 counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, if Ingenious Prodigy has 1 or more +1/+1 counters on it, you may remove it with +1/+1 counter. If you do, draw a card. Fantastic card. It's great. And a lot of uncommons and commons in that pack. On to the next one. We're about 15 minutes in this, and about a third of the way through. I'm going through as quick as I can, but I want to stop and make sure I read the cards. That's one of the set cards. Gumdrop Poisoner. We've already read this card once, but it's 1 black, 2 colorless for a 3/2. And you gain some life, and it does cool stuff. It's good foil drop. Intangible Virtue. Hyda's Crown of Winter, 3 cost, legendary artifact. I've already seen this card so many times in sealed so far, or on arena as well as in sealed. For 1 and tap target creature, tap target creature. This ability costs 1 less when activating during your turn. If you pay 3 and tap it, sacrifice, or you don't even tap it, you just sacrifice it to draw cards equal to the number of tap creatures your opponent controls. It's a good card. It's a really good card. They're going to see some play in EDH, especially with the new tap mechanics. Our card. Token. Dragon Mantle. For 1 red, it's an aura. enchant a creature when Dragon Mantle enters the battlefield, draw a card, and then it gives it fire breathing. It's cool. It's all right. Expel the Interlopers. 2 white, 3 colorless sorcery. Choose any number between 0 and 10. Destroy all creatures with power greater than or equal to the chosen number. I'm going to choose 0. Destroy everything. Kellen the Fey Blooded. I love this guy. This is going to see some commander play. 1 red, 2 colorless. Human Fairy. 2/2 double strike. Other creatures you control get +1/+0 for each aura or an enchantment attached to this guy. And the other side, the adventure side, is cool too. 1 white, 1 colorless. Search your library for an aura or equipment card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, and then shuffle. I'm all about it. It's cool. It's with the alternate frame. You guys like those alternate frames? Let me know in the comments below. Here's the art card. Fairy Harbinger, which is a good time for that to come out. Karmic Justice. Food Fight. One red, 1 colorless. Enchantment artifacts you control have pay 2 colorless mana. Sacrifice this artifact. It deals damage equals the number to 1 plus the number of permanents named Food Fight you control. So the more of these you get in play, the more damage you're going to deal from sacrificing artifacts. It's interesting. It's a very selective card. Don't know if it'll ever see much play, but it's interesting. Give it a roll for the next pack. The art card. Ooh, that's actually a pretty cool art. Then Arena. They want you to buy their stuff. Ice Wrought Sentry. Ground Seal. When Ground Seal enters the battlefield, draw a card. Cards in graveyards can't be the target of spells or abilities. Feral Encounter. Now, this card's interesting. It does a couple different things. 2 green, sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may exile a creature card from among them. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. You may cast the exiled card this turn. At the beginning of your next combat phase this turn, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power up to 1 target creature you don't control. So it does a few different things. I think it's a cool card. I can't wait to see it in play. And we got some commons and uncommons and a full art swamp, which is actually one of my more favorite full art swamps. A full art lands from the set. That's pretty cool. The Ocean Soldier. I remember when these first came out. 3 for 1/4. It was pretty good. Aquatic Alchemist. Stab Wound. Questing Druid. 1 green, 1 colorless. Human Druid. 1/1. Whenever you cast a spell that's white, blue, black, or red, put a +1/+1 counter on Questing Druid. Hey, it's one of the cards from the new Commander set for 1 green, 1 white, 2 colorless, legendary creature, human knight, 4/4. When it comes into play, enters the battlefield or attacks, create a virtuous roll token attached to another target creature you control. Whenever an enchanted creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you get to draw a card. Man, built-in card draw is amazing. And yeah, that's commons. Next pack. Art card. Castling Nerd. Griffin. Ah, good hit. Moonshaker Cavalry. 3 white, 5 colorless for 6/6 creature, Spirit Knight. Flying. When Moonshaker Cavalry enters the battlefield, creatures you control gain flying and get +X/+X till end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. It's the new white finisher. It's amazing. Some commons and uncommons. Lots of uncommons in that pack. Would have been a great pack to play with in some sort of sealed format, but this is set. Set boosters are not allowed to be played in that format for obvious reasons. Unfair advantage to those who can draw well. Beast token. Terminal Grind. Spreading Seas. This guy. Imodine, the Pyro Hammer, 2 red, 2 colorless, 4/4 legendary human knight. When an instant or sorcery spell you control that targets only a single creature deals damage to that creature, Imodine deals that much damage to each opponent. I Can't wait to play that. I want to build a deck around that one just for Commander. I think it's going to be fun. Turns those lightning bolts into direct damage to your opponent's creatures, and then it hits all your opponents. It's pretty incredible. Ash Party Crasher. Oh, another good hit. Primal Vigor. Man, those extra cards are fantastic. Lich Knight's Conquest, 1 black, 4 colorless. Sacrifice any number of artifacts, enchantments, and or tokens. Return that many creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Ah, glad I got that card. I got a commander deck that's going to slot right into. Full art. Mountain. On to the next pack. We're making pretty good time. 20 minutes, and I've got less than a third of the pack left. Our card. Bird token. Not dead after all foiled. Raid Bombardment. That card kicked my butt a little bit during one of the pre-releases I played it. And Regal Bunny Corn. This card is so good. For 1 white, 1 colorless, it's a star creature. Rabbit Unicorn, Regal Bunnycorn, power and toughness are equal to the number of non-land permanents you control. Such a good card. It's so big. For a star for 2. It's going to be a 1/1 when it comes into play, and then it's just going to get bigger and bigger. Even especially if you have lots of tokens or rolls or anything else in your deck that's not land, it just counts all of them. It's such a big creature for 2. Going on the next pack. Food token. Welcome to Sweet Tooth. Well, Defense of the Heart, Anime Edition. Cool. Stab Wound. Specter of Morality. 2 black, 3 colorless, 3/3 creature specter flying. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile 1 or more creature cards from your graveyard. When you do, each other creature gets -X, where X is the number of cards exiled this way. It's so good. Talk about removable. It comes into play, and you 3 cards go away. -X. So good. There's the black blue deck is gonna play with that card, and it's just gonna. People are not gonna see it coming, dropping on 5th turn, and they get. And the player plays against a 3/3 flying body. It's pretty good. Too bad it's not a fairy, but it definitely feels good for the the theme of the set. Full Curiosity, which Delegate Play, Impact Tremors, Dark Tutelage, Talion the Kindly Lord. Oh, this card's so good. I can't wait to build a deck around it for standard 1 black, 1 blue, 2 colorless, legendary creature, fairy noble, 3/4 flying. As Talion the Kindly Lord enters the battlefield, choose a number between 1 and 10 whenever an opponent casts a spell with mana value or power or toughness equal to the chosen number. That player loses 2 life, and you get to draw a card. If it comes into play, it's just gonna wreck. It's gonna take over real fast. I'm happy to get one. I can't wait to actually build a standard deck around that card because it owns. Once it comes into play, it feels like it's just gonna own the battlefield. Art card, food token, Beanstalk Worm, plants. Sir Ginger, the Meal Ender, 2 colorless for a legendary creature. Food Knight is a 3/1. Sir Ginger, the Meal Ender, has Trample, Hexproof, and Haste as long as an opponent controls a Planeswalker. For only 2, that's pretty good, but it has even more. Whenever another artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Sir Ginger and scry 1. So those food tokens, those roll tokens, and of course those treasure tokens are just gonna make her bigger. And then you can also pay 2, tap the sacrifice. You gain life equal to its power, which is base is gonna be 3. It's really good, really, really good. On to the next pack. Card. Nightmare token. I need some more of those. Zahor. Fraying Sanity. That's great. 1 blue, 2 colorless. Enchant player at the beginning of each end step. Enchant player mills X cards, where X is the number of cards put into their graveyard from anywhere this turn. Card's great. Possum Troll. 1 green, 1 black, 2 colorless. 4/4 creature troll. When Possum Troll enters the battlefield, create a monster roll token and attach it to it. Pay 1, sacrifice an aura attached to Possum Troll. Possum Troll fights target creature you don't control. If that creature would die this turn, exile instead. Activate only as a sorcery. That's your commons, uncommons, and a basic land. Let's keep the ball rolling here. Art card. Turn of the Wild Speaker. Flurry Slumber Party. We've already saw that card. Curiosity. Spellbrook Vendor. 1 white, 1 colorless. Creature or human peasant. 2/2. Vigilance. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay 1 colorless. When you do, create a sorcerer roll token attached to target creature you control. Pretty cool. Wrong pile though. Commons, uncommons. Land. On to the next pack. Our token. We shall put a line. Hardened Scales. Another great pull here. Compulsion. Dranged's Mantle. Werefox Bodyguard. 2 white, 1 colorless. Creature Elf Fox Knight. 2/2 flash. When Werewolf Bodyguard enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 other target non-fox creature until Werefox Bodyguard leaves the battlefield. Pay a white, 1 colorless, sacrifice Werefox Bodyguard, you gain 2 life. Such a good card. And then on to the commons and uncommons. Next pack. Art card. Foil. Another Grasp of Fate. Excellent. Eret of the Charmed Apple. 1 white, 1 black, 1 colorless. 2/4 legendary creature, human warlock. Each creature that's enchanted by an aura you control can attack you or a planeswalker you control at the beginning of your end step. Each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of auras you control. That card screams to be a commander card. Screams! And the rest are going to be commons and uncommons. On to the next pack. Looks like I only got 3 packs left. Really gone through that box real fast. Still super happy with some of the pulls I got. Art card. Beast token. Commune with nature. Sanguine Bond. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. 2 black, 3 colorless enchantment. Card's hot. Season of Growth. Thunderous Debut. 2 green, 6 colorless sorcery. Bargain. You always want to bargain this card. Look at the top 20 cards of your library. You may reveal up to 2 creature cards from among them. If the spell was bargain, put the reveal cards onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put the reveal cards into your hand and then shuffle. Always want to bargain that card. And then commons, uncommons, land. Next last pack. There's the art card. Token. Full Recruiter. Utopia Sprawl. That's a great reprint. Devouring Sugar Maw, which I believe I've already seen once today. Then Glass Caskets. Commons and uncommons. Last pack from the box. Let's see if we can get anything good. This box has been pretty darn good. Rat token. Art card. Fiery Emancipation. 3 red, 3 colorless. Enchantment. If a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals triple that damage to a permanent or player instead. Using it with that new commander that's red, it's amazing. The Huntsman Redemption. 1 green, 2 colorless. Chapter 1. create a 3/3 green beast creature token. Then in Chapter 2, you may sacrifice a creature. If you do, search your library for a creature card, basic land, or, well, it's either or of those, and then reveal it and put it into your hand, and then shuffle. Chapter 3, up to two target creatures, you each get +2/+2 and travel till end of turn. That wasn't a great pack, but overall, it was a fantastic box. Thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate you taking time to watch. Please like if this is the type of content you like. Please share. We really appreciate the help. And then also check out our Patreon. This video is made by Patreons like you. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to afford to do this. So thank you guys. I hope you all have a fantastic night. And remember, keep them rolling.